it's Sherry's Chronicles. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I missed y'all. Wow, I'm fake. I know, I'm fake. No, it's been a while. I'm sorry. I am truly sorry it's been a while, but I'm back on my bullshit or whatever. And I'm back for a new video for you guys. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sherry, and get ready. Just get ready. I don't know. I would like to issue a trigger warning. I am going to be talking about rape and sexual assault in this video, so wanted to put that out there. Today's topic is rape culture. So rape culture, what even is this? Well, let me pull up the definition for you. As Oxford Dictionary describes it, a society or environment whose prevailing social attitudes have the effect of normalizing or trivializing sexual assault and abuse. So that gives you a gist of like the definition, but basically it's in our daily lives, it's everywhere. Almost everyone is guilty of perpetuating rape culture, as lots of people think it's as an extreme, like raping people, but rape culture has a lot to do with language, has a lot to do with how we treat women in our society, has a lot to do with how we treat sex and people's sex lives. So let's get started on some examples. One example, which was actually said from a former friend about me to another guy friend. He said, get her drunk, she'll do anything with you. Yeah, and I'm not the only one that's been said about or to, and that is problematic. No, don't get her drunk so she'll do anything with you. Another example, if you keep asking, she'll say yes. No, don't do that. If it's a no the first time, then it's just a no. Just quit it. Give it up. You're probably ugly. So a couple of these examples actually describe rape. So one of them is pulling the condom off during sex when she doesn't know. Yeah, that's rape. Because she agreed to condom sex, not raw sex. And so she didn't consent to the other kind. It's being sneaky, it's being mischievous, it's being dirty and gross and bad. So don't do that. This one was also said to me, which I mentioned in a previous video, was my friend has raped a girl or two, but he didn't mean it. He's not violent. He has a good heart. Like, he's nice. He's chill. No. No. Not all rape has to be violent. That is a very misconstrued stereotype, I guess I could call it. Definitely not all rape is violent. Doesn't mean any rape is worse than the other, but saying that is just disgusting. Like, no, he's not a good person, he's a rapist. So this has to do with like trying to go smack. That's what my people call it from where I'm from in the DMV. Also just be asking for someone's number if you see someone you're interested in them, like walking up to them and like trying to talk to them, right? So what usually happens, the guy comes up to you and he's like, can I have your number? And usually I say no. And then they're like, oh, I got a boyfriend. And usually I lie and say yes. And then it kind of goes something like, oh, so you can't have friends? And I'm like, awkward, nervous, get out of my life, get out of my face, laugh. And he's like, we could just be friends. And I'm like, no thanks. Hint, hint, social cue. Like, I don't understand the thing with men not picking up social cues. Like, it's just, are you stupid? Well, you are. But like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I could pick up on body language. Maybe men have like a disconnect where they can't do that. I'm not quite sure. But they just don't. Or maybe they just ignore it and refuse to. They see it and they see that women are uncomfortable but ignore it. That could be a possibility too. I don't know the answer, but fix it. If I say no the first time, just walk away. Go find another cute girl. I promise there's millions more. Basically, those were a few examples, but rape culture is in our daily lives. It's within slut shaming, calling someone a hoe because they've had sex or because they do sexual things. That's perpetuating rape culture. There's this pyramid of rape culture that I saw online the other day. It's from the Equality Institute, and I'm gonna read to you like from bottom to top. So it's like what's normalized in society, and then as it goes, what is considered rape or sexual assault. Even though even that's normalized in our society. So really, what is life? So at the bottom, it talks about locker room talk, rape jokes, boys will be boys. That phrase is so problematic because it's not holding men accountable for their actions, but rather excusing them because they are men. Catcalling, unwanted non-sexual touching, like don't touch me if I didn't tell you to touch me. Someone touching your hair, caressing your face, rubbing your shoulders, that's a lot. That happens a lot in the workplace. It's like, don't touch me, I will pepper spray you. Another thing, flashing unsolicited dick pics. No one wants to see it, just nobody. And they're always small, so I don't. Victim blaming. That's very apparent. What were you wearing? Why were you wearing that? Why did you go to that party? Why were you so drunk? Why were you alone with him? Well, you shouldn't have let him on. Yeah, things like that. Victim blaming, very detrimental. Don't do it. Stalking, well, duh. Groping, coercion, revenge porn, stealthing, and then it goes to molestation, drugging, and rape. So it's a pyramid, and that is what our society accepts. It's a very big deal. It is why we are in a state of emergency in the United States with sexual assault and rape. It happens every 98 seconds in the United States, and that's not okay. Every 98 seconds, someone is sexually assaulted or raped. That's scary. That's scary. That's disgusting. And we have the ability to change it, especially men. Also, I want to make this very clear. Acceptance of rape culture is just as bad as participating in it. So if you don't necessarily slut shame people, if you don't necessarily participate in what I mentioned in this video, just because you don't do it doesn't mean that your brother doesn't. It doesn't mean that your father doesn't. It doesn't mean that your homegirls don't. So it doesn't mean that you can just stand there and do nothing. Say, oh, well, I don't do that, so that's not my problem. It is your problem. It's everybody's problem because it's affecting society as a whole. I was previously in the Vagina Monologues, a show by Eve Ensler. You should look it up. It's great. But in the Spotlight Monologue, which is what I did with a friend, we talk about the passivity of good men. Meaning the good men that I just mentioned that don't slut shame women, that are all feminist or whatever, they get passed. Like, oh, well, you just sit. You just sit and you just drink a beer and you just watch the game because you don't rape people. It's not that lenient. We can't reward a fish for swimming. That's stupid and it makes you look dumb. We can't anymore be accepting of good men. Because if you're not doing the work to contribute to make society better, you're not a good man. Basically, if you're not combating and dismantling the issue, you're a part of the problem. No one is exempt from changing how our society works, how we treat women, how we treat sex and consensual sex. And everyone, especially men, should be doing something, actively doing something to change the way our society works with rape culture. That's it for today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have resources in the description box with hotlines and different websites and where I got some of my statistics so you can research and start the work, the activism yourself. I'll post videos when I can. See you next time. Stay zen.